Welcome into Larry Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University for the winners bracket play here in the 6A baseball tournament on KSLSports.com. I'm Trevor Allen. Glad to have you along here. We've got a Region 3 battle between the Corner Canyon Chargers and the Skyridge Falcons. We'll get the batting order and defensive lineups here as we go along here. But leading off for the Chargers is the right fielder, Jack Munson. And pitching is Rip Roberts for the Skyridge Falcons. And so far, a 2-1 count. That one's grounded to short. Over to first, and Munson will get there in time, so that's a single. And then the rest of the batting order coming up next. Batting second and playing shortstop, Lincoln Yor. Batting third and playing third base is Zach Sorensen. Batting fourth and is the designated hitter, Crew Thorne. Batting fifth and playing left field is Levi Hines. Batting sixth and playing center field is Garrett Downing. Batting seventh and is the catcher, Joby Brady. Batting eighth and is second base, Tanner McKay. And batting ninth and playing first base is Bowen Bodley. And Carson Paulson is not batting, but he is pitching for the Chargers. So one out, one on with one strike. And 1-1 the count. We've got a special guest coming up here. Joining me now, Mr. Jeff Clough of the Utah High School Activities Association. Jeff, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Trevor. Just thought I had a minute and
come on over
for a second. I saw you flying solo today, and everybody needs a color guy for a minute.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it, especially with you putting out fires consistently with your job, and you guys got a lot going on at the UHSAA.
We do. Lacrosse championships, soccer championships, softball, baseball this week, so we're busy in our larger classifications, and so it's always awesome.
So far, it's been a pretty good tournament here at BYU. We've got two teams that pulled off upsets yesterday in bracket play.
Yeah, I think to the standard fan, you would have thought that this matchup would have been in the losers bracket and not in the winners bracket side, and because we had those two upsets from Mountain Ridge. Of Mountain Ridge and who's the other team?
Lone Peak.
Lone Peak, there you go. And then Lone Peak's already gone after the game this morning.
Which is crazy to think that, to start off the day was an elimination game between a 2-seed and a 3-seed.
Correct.
And then tonight should be a good one, too, with American Fork and Lehigh. Lehigh was just fantastic on defense last night, only allowing one hit and no runs to a good Riverton team. And this is Zach Sorensen. Goes right over to first base for out number 2. But that'll put Jack Munson over to third base.
Yeah, this Skyridge team looks like they're pretty resilient. Talking to their coaches, seems like they're a team that's pretty scrappy and doesn't give up. And we saw that a little bit yesterday in their win over Mountain Ridge.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys, let's touch on this for a minute. You guys are having some changes at the top. Obviously, Rob Cuff is calling it a career. In a couple of months, this is his last championship season. But you guys have got some new leadership. Obviously, you're not going anywhere, and you're still doing things at a high level. But just talk about the changes and what's coming with the association.
Yeah, so we have actually 2 retirees with the association. Rob Cuff, executive director, 25 years of the association, 33 years in education. And so his last day is July 31st, and we're super grateful for all he's done for high school sports and how he has really advanced what's going on. And I can't even imagine what high school sports looked like when he started versus what now is, because I've been in the association 12 years, and I know what it looks like now.
Yeah. No, it's definitely changed, and I mean, I've been involved in some capacity for the last 10 years and following, and obviously heavily involved now with the streaming deal that we have with the UHSAA, and it just keeps growing, and it seems like every single year you guys are adding sports that are sanctioned. You guys are keeping us busy.
Well, we hope that we're on pause for a little bit. I think so do our member schools, to try to catch up with administration and everything else that's happening, and we feel like they're starting to catch up, and we can slow things down with the addition of girls and boys lacrosse, girls wrestling, cheerleading, and so it's been some great things, and with the addition of esports this year as well.
Yeah, no, that was interesting to stream that this year. Getting the call as that goes right over to first base for Crew Thorne, and that'll end the inning. So no runs scored, and we'll go ahead and keep it here instead of going to break, since I've got Jeff here. And it's just it's fascinating because having that sport. I mean, it's funny. Back when I was back at Cypress High School, it's funny because I would have loved to do esports. Like, I'm a gamer. I like to play games and things like that, and just to have that, it's interesting.
Yeah, I grew up being a PlayStation kid. I played Nintendo when I was younger, and Atari when I was younger, and so I think it's awesome. It gives a whole group of kids that are in high school another opportunity, a different opportunity to compete, and that was part of it. And that was Larry H. Miller Foundation was the Ken Garf Foundation was someone who was really driving esports for a long time, and they did an absolutely phenomenal job with all of that. And for us, we got enough pressure and enough energy and excitement from our schools that we started to add esports, and we hosted our first championship here in April, and so that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to stream that up at Weber State, and just to especially because it involves more than just the competitive athletes out on the field or on the court or in all these other sports, but this is more of like the mind and things like that, to where it reaches out to another set of students to get involved.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see, and I would assume the growth will continue to be exponential every year, similar to what happened to girls wrestling when we started with roughly 300 athletes, and we're over 1,500 now after just a few short years, and so we're excited about that.
For those of you who don't know, Jeff's also over all the officials for all the sports, so sure, as that one is absolutely crushed, and that is going to be gone. A home run leadoff by Miles Robinson. He played hero yesterday in the win, and now he just absolutely blasted that ball, Jeff.
Yeah, that ball was, I would guess that was probably 425, maybe 430. That was at the top of the trees in center field. That ball was hammered. It was crushed, and that gives Skyridge a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and just like that, they're on the board, and it's interesting how much even the sport of baseball has really even grown. We even saw it last year with our streaming numbers. Like, people are tuning into baseball, and it's starting to become a thing, and it grew big time just from 2 years ago to last year. But it just shows the talent that we have in this state.
Yeah, a lot of people know that I umpire college baseball, and I'm around, and I'm a part of the game, and we have great players within this state, whether it's junior college or Division I or even just high school players. They're doing a great job, and they spend a lot of time working at it. I have a kid in high school who plays baseball. My younger kid plays baseball. my older boy played baseball, so we're kind of a baseball family, and to see it grow and I think these the format that we play in our larger classifications are a lot of fun and brings a lot of energy and excitement to baseball itself.
And Rob Lee, the shortstop, strikeout there. So the first one for Carson Paulson of Corner Canyon. And that'll bring up Rip Roberts, who's the pitcher. He's batting third. And then Boston Sunderberg, the catcher, is batting fourth. Batting fifth is Zayden Bai, the right fielder. Batting sixth, Brady Butters. He's playing third base. Batting seventh and playing second base is Bo Larson. Batting eighth and playing first is Brady Lowe. And batting ninth and playing in left field is Grayson Bauer. As there's one out now. And that one is ball two.
Yeah, this is Coach Roberts' son from Skyridge, and he's a nice player. He both as with the bat and with his arm.
Yeah, he'll get out there, but he's going to go on to play at Nicholls State down in Louisiana at the next level.
Yeah, so that's Nicholls State. The head coach at Nicholls State is Brent Herring. Brent Herring was a BYU assistant coach for a couple of years. Prior to that, he was when he left BYU, he went to LSU for a year as a hitting coach. And prior to that, he was with Coach Mike Littlewood and Coach Trent Pratt at Dixie State as one of their assistant coaches. So he's a Utah product. He's a St. George kid, and he's the head coach out at Nicholls State.
Yeah, and you also spent some time down in St. George, right, working for the college?
Yeah, I spent 14 and a half years there in a couple different roles from 99 to 2014-ish when I was hired at the association. Yeah,
so you probably have some stories about my boss, Nate Dowdle, right?
I do. Nate and I have a little history. He was a TV personality down there in southern Utah back when I was the media relations director.
So is there stories you could tell on air about him?
No, I'll save those for off air. We won't kill him there.
That we'll go ahead and go to break, and we'll come back with the top of the second after this. Levi Hines will lead off the inning here in the top of the second. Trevor Allen and special guest Jeff Clough with the Utah High School Activities Association joining me for a few innings here. I also told Rob at volleyball, I said, hey, come join me for a couple innings. I haven't seen him yet. Probably hasn't popped over yet before. He's probably a busy man just like you are.
We always got something tugging at us this time of year. We got a lot of things happening, a lot of irons in the fire, running these championships in the spring, and we absolutely love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys like to jam-pack the sports in spring, don't you?
Well, I mean, we either have to play them in the fall or the spring because of the weather in Utah.
Yeah.
Unlike this year, but yeah.
And there's a strikeout there for Roberts to start off the inning. And so Hines is down on strikes for out number one. Coming to the plate next is Garrett Downing, the center fielder, batting in the 6 hole. It's I know also a guy that you've gotten to know over the past years, and obviously passed away, a member of our family at KSL Sports, Dusty Litster. And, this was always his time of year, so it's a little, somber to, obviously he didn't do baseball last year. He was dealing with his cancer, but he passed away in September, and so, but I know you enjoyed being around him when.
Amazing guy. They Dusty and Dane, they did such amazing things to advocate for student athletes in the state, and forever we will be in gratitude for him. And it's tough to lose him. He was a neat individual, and his passion was high school sports. He was very good at it, and we're very appreciative and always will be.
Yeah, and doing these games, I know it was something that he always loved doing. Baseball was his number one sport, and then football, and obviously could do it all, but by no means am I trying to fill his shoes. There's no chance of that happening, and nor do I want it to.
Well, I think he's a guy that none of us can fill his shoes.
Yeah.
He's always his shoes are always going to be sitting there, and we have the opportunity to learn from him and glean some information that he tried, but he prepared so well and was so passionate about everything that went on with high school sports and everything that he did.
So base on balls there for Downing. He'll head to first.
Yeah, so you talk about things at the association. I'd just go back to, we're really excited about our new executive director, Ryan Bishop. He's currently the principal of Wasatch High School, and he's returning to the association. He was actually my coworker when I started in 2014. We worked together for 3 years before he left to go into high school administration, and we're fortunate to have him back. He's going to be a great asset to the association. Then we also have another retirement, which is Missy Mackey-Widers. She's going to retire and put a sunset on her career, and she's worked with us for 3 years at the association. We're excited for her. And
I did not know about that one.
Yeah,
because she is over cheerleading, softball,
tennis.
Yep. Yeah. So I've worked with her. I didn't know that.
Theater. So she's great.
No, she is. So are you going to take up softball too on top of officials and baseball and everything?
No, I will not. I will not be doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some different responsibilities, or it's a good change when a new director comes in or a new executive director is hired, which it's been a while for the association, but where we kind of shuffle sports. So you could see that happen as well.
So that is a base hit for Brady.
Ball ripped into left field.
Yeah, and now he'll get a speed up runner as that goes into left field, and that'll move Downing over to second. And so then they give him a speed up runner because you get a speed up runner if you're a pitcher or a catcher.
That's correct, and also I don't know if a lot of people know about the pitch count rules. I can.
Oh, I've hit that to the max.
You've talked about.
Yeah,
that
for those tuning in that are new to it, it's definitely a strategy now that it's added for the coaches.
Yes.
How long has that been in play as far as the pitch count?
That became a rule in 2017.
Okay.
Before it was innings allowed.
Okay.
So you used to have 14 innings in the week, and now we've changed that to actual pitch counts. 0 to 35, no days rest. 36 to 60 is 1 day. 61 to 85 is 2 days, and then 86 to 110 is 3 days rest. And but you can't throw more than 75 pitches in 2 days. So, you could have 35 pitches.
And that one's a hard cap, too. So, like, as soon as you hit 75, you're done. Whereas you go to 110, you can at least finish the batter.
That's correct. Yep.
Agreed. Yeah, I've definitely been brushed up on that. I've even got a sheet that Curtis gave me.
Oh, nice.
So I've been trying. It's something that we've been tracking just to kind of see where – coaches are going with their arms. And as you know, to go far in this tournament as the double play attempt, at least out at second. So now runners on the corners.
Nice play by the second baseman going to his left and then turn back and throw the shortstop to give you a chance. And really nice play out there to get the second out of the inning. And,
just to kind of see, like, It truly is, like people say, how do you go deep in this kind of format with the College World Series type of format, and it's all about your pitching staff and how deep you can go.
It is.
And I wanted to ask you, I know there's a lot of different formats, and I know some of the classifications, like the lower ones, don't play this similar one, but for the higher classifications there is. What kind of goes into picking the postseason format for baseball?
So we present the idea to the Coaches Association, the ADEC, which is the Athletic Directors Council, and then also our executive committee, and they're ultimately the ones who decide which format we use. 3A most recently went to it 3 years ago. They just completed their third year of this format. 2A has not. It requires a little bit more pitching, and it's just something that, and being time out of school and the travel distances and all of those things, they just don't feel like. And actually the 3A softball didn't mirror 3A baseball, and they have the shorter bracket as well, like the 2A and the 1A in softball. And
Yeah.
so that's why the 4A, 5A, 6A softball are that way. But our 3A through 6A baseball all plays the same. And then you have a different format in our 1A baseball, which a lot of people may not know, is our small schools down region 20-ish. We have some up north, and they play single elimination until they get the quarterfinals, and then we add a double elimination little set there. The ball was crushed.
And yeah, that one is crushed into left center field, and that'll bring in 1 run. And so that's an RBI double. I believe that's Bowen Bodley.
I believe 2 runs scored on that, where they had first and third, right?
Oh, yeah, they were at first and third, so yeah. So a two RBI double.
Nice hit, just pass. I think one of the other things that playing in these big facilities, with fences at 347, 402, and 343, is really, it's a different type of game when we get to our championship format, playing on turf. There's only a couple of turf high schools in the state, and so it's a great experience for our young people. There's a lot of energy and excitement about our baseball in Utah.
Yeah, what kind of goes behind, trying this College World Series? What do you like about the format?
Well, typically because we play the regionals or super regionals, best of 3, your best teams usually will advance. They get into a bracket, and you typically have the best team or the hottest team at the moment in the way they're playing. Like you take a few years ago when I believe Corner Canyon was a 10 seed and played in the championship against Lehigh, who was a 6 seed. Lehigh ended up winning that, but it was, you just didn't get those a lot.
Foul ball there for Munson.
And so, I think that's the advantage that we have, is it's drawing more attention to, we went to the RPI format, and that went away from our region selections, top 4 from each region, and we really expanded our playoffs. That allowed our schools to really focus on the best team winning, and this was another change that we made in baseball that allowed us to do that. And you see the best teams in the championship or hottest. I think in the history of the RPI, the highest seeded team to win a state championship is in baseball. It was last year, and that was Spanish Fork. What were they, the 22 or 23?
20th seed, yeah.
20, something like that. And so it's always exciting, give these guys a run and an opportunity to win.
Yeah, and even last year, even though American Fork was the number 1 seed and won the championship, they faced 10-seeded Lehigh in the championship series.
Yeah.
Last year, but then you mentioned the 20 seed. So it really is who's got the hot bat, who's got the hot arm, and that one is lifted into center field and for the final out of the inning. So it is 2-1 Corner Canyon as we head to the bottom of the second here on KSLSports.com.
Get a booth.
Zayden Bai will lead off for the Skyridge Falcons. As that one goes into the turf, and wild pitch, but no one on, so no harm done. Yeah, it looks like the sun might be a little bit of an issue there as that goes into center field for out number 1. So Zayden Bai is down. And then Brady Butters will come to the plate now for Skyridge. I would normally say if you have any official complaints, go ahead and reach out to Jeff, but I'm sure people have already done that. Although the officiating, at least for baseball, I feel like the crews here have done a great job. And we all know how hard it is, or at least a lot of us do, how hard it is to get qualified to officiate postseason at any sport.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that the average fan may not understand is Our officials are constantly training during the season. They're required to go to meetings. They're required to watch rules clinics and videos to keep up on the latest of what's going on. And they work really hard. We're really fortunate. Our top officials are pretty good in all of our sports, and that really takes the pressure off of me. And even though the energy lifts up and the excitement of what's going on, and you have more people that are locked into what's going on, and our umpires and our officials do a really nice job. We're really fortunate to have the dedicated young men and women around, and that love the game and love being part of high school sports.
Yeah, I used to officiate back in the day on basketball at the high school level.
Nice.
I think you were probably still down in St. George when that happened.
Yeah, I started in 14.
I did it almost right out of high school.
Yeah, so 14. So I started officiating basketball. I did softball for a couple of years. I did football and of course baseball. And so tough play over there at first base.
We'll see if they mark that as an error.
They should. They did, yes.
Yes, they did.
Little E3 puts on a runner for Skyridge. Seems like they just never go away. They keep clawing and clawing. And, they're a resilient team.
Well, it was crazy in that first game yesterday. I mean, first of all, it was really cold.
It
but
was freezing yesterday.
But the fact that the first two games yesterday, at least for most of it, it was 21 runs combined, and obviously Corner Canyon scored a couple more runs late in their game in that second game, but for a while it was 21 runs and 20 of them were in one game. And the way that each team were scoring runs was crazy. Like one of them had, 4 or 8 runs on 4 hits because they were walking guys, and then the other ones were actually getting hits and bringing in runs. So, it was pretty much two different tales of baseball in one game.
Yeah, they do these kids, they're a lot of passion. I mean, they're playing their 27th, 28th, 29th game of the season, and they're pretty locked in by this time of year. It's fun to watch them play and compete. And we appreciate their parents supporting them and coming out to the venue and seeing them play. And like I said before, a lot of energy around high school sports.
That one just foul as the runner was going. So 2-1, Corner Canyon with the lead. After this pitch, I've got an interesting question for Jeff as well.
Can't wait.
I'm sure you can, but that'll be a base hit, and Butters is going to stay at second, so that's a single for Bo Larson.
That puts 2 runners on base for Skyridge, runners at first and second, and 1 out after the pop out to center field to lead things off. And looks like Skyridge is threatening.
So I wanted to ask you about the RPI system.
Sure.
What has gone well about it, and what is maybe, some things that you've heard about as far as concerns?
Well, I mean, we evaluate that every year. We in our executive committee meetings, which we have two boards in the association. One's the board of trustees. That's a 15-member panel made up of our executive of principals, of school board members in each classification, and superintendents. And then we have some principals that come along from that also serve on the executive committee, so those two boards kind of marriage each other. We have a state school board member, someone from the ADEC, and so those guys continue to those are the policy making board. Our executive committee, which helps us decide how we run our championships, what we do at our championships, and those are procedural things that go on in the association. And the RPI is one of those things, and we discuss those in our meetings: the goods, the bads, the uglies. We change the factors, the ratios. There's right now we're using 3 different categories, which is the win percentage, opponent's win percentage, and opponent's win percentage. And we've toyed with changing those and trying to make, trying to see what works best. And so I think our lower classifications decided this past year to go to the max prep rating. And so 1A to 4A stayed with the max prep rating, and our 5A, 6A voted to stay with the RPI.
Okay.
It's been around for a while. I wouldn't be surprised that, nice play at the plate, and
he's
throw.
out. Great throw. Tag, and that's out number 2, and saves a run. And saves it from tying this ball game, but runner still on first and second now.
A little challenge by the third base coach, who is didn't really like the play at the plate. He's not even the head coach. Pretty close play at the plate.
Yeah, it is.
And so we don't know really. I think in June, again, we'll discuss in our June executive committee meeting, we'll discuss whether that happens or not, whether they decide to change or whether we revert back to the RPI. One of the positives is it's taken teams and putting them in a statewide rank on everything that's going on in whatever sport we're talking about in a numerical order from top to bottom. It is seeding. There is some controversy that goes around whether this team or that team should be 2 or 3 or 4, and so, but it's at least ranking them in a better order than what was happening before, when each region would send 4 schools and they would preset and line up with the other 4 schools, and so you would have those preset matchups, and you would only have 16 teams in the playoffs. And the 4 from one region would play the other, and the other would play 4, and it may not be the best region and the best teams getting in. So I think that's been one of the positives that's happened.
Yeah, I mean, for me, having coached and now obviously covering it as well, it's it's got its plus and minuses with it as well. Just like with really anything, as now the bases are loaded. As Bauer getting base on balls there.
Yeah, I think he, Skyridge just started to touch this guy a little bit and had some good quality at bats, and this is the Robinson guy who hit the home run to center field.
Yeah,
the
to
last
start
time.
this game, to start the inning.
I would assume that's why they had the mound visit, and even though there's 2 outs in this inning.
So 2 outs, bases juiced. Here's the pitch. That one goes outside. I did get a text to someone who's tuning in. Wanted me to ask you a question. We'll get to that here in a minute. Maybe we'll skip a break and I'll ask you. We don't want to do it yet because the base is loaded.
But I think a lot of the teams went to the max prep rating because they felt like people were looking at the max preps rating, and so we mirrored that on our site, and we made a few modifications, but not many that people can tell, and people felt like that was more true in our lower classifications, and that could be because of the matchups, the rural status of those schools, getting to play other schools, and so there's not as much crossover competition like it happens in our larger classifications that are closer together.
Calls time there. Yeah, there was a play in that last game where there's a ruling on the play at second base. It was a steal, and then they threw the kid out, but the ball appeared to pop loose. How does the rule And that'll be a base hit. Take a pause on that for a moment. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. So that's a 2 RBI single and a runner on third.
Yeah, you got a sweet swing there by Robinson. He's just a really easy swing. He's not doesn't look like he's exerting a lot. That's what he hit the home run on to give him their first time at bat. Now he's got 3 RBIs in the game. Just another quality at bat. Looking for his pitch, 2-1 something. Didn't try to do too much with it, and was able to score 2 more runs for Skyridge. Give him a 3-2 lead.
So as Jeff mentioned, 3-2 lead now for the Falcons. But yeah, in that last game, they were saying, how does the rule read on that one as it pertains to blocking the base versus making a play?
Well, that's a tough question, and so I would like to know who asked me that question so I can send him a nasty text message.
Well, he actually told me he also texted you,
okay.
So you'll know who it is.
Okay.
You just got to check your phone.
Okay. But in reality, when a ball comes loose, if the umpire determines that there isn't control by the fielder at the time of the play and the conclusion of play, then the runner, if he remains safe, is safe or not out if it's a line drive or something like that. So, yeah, if it seems like an intentional act or something different, then there's a different ruling in your interpretation of that. But you throw to second, and I slide into second, and the glove's there, and the ball's hit, and it pops out. It has to be determined whether there was control and whether there was a second motion by the fielder to maintain control.
This is why I don't officiate. This is why I broadcast instead.
I'm sure you weren't terrible right after high school.
Well, funny thing is, so a funny story. My first game officiating basketball at the high school level was a varsity game.
Well,
and you're probably thinking, how did that happen? Well, they screwed up my ranking.
Oh, I love those. I love those.
But my partner got booed more than I did, so I think I did all right.
Yeah.
And that'll end the inning. So we'll head to the top of the third. Skyridge with the lead. We'll come back after this here on KSLSports.com. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Leading off is Lincoln Ure. A bunt attempt, and he gets there. Great bunt.
Great recognition by the third baseman, by the batter, noticing that the third baseman was playing back, and just laid down a sweet bunt, has some wills, and so he legged that one out for an infield single. That was awesome.
And I want to correct myself. We are in the top of the third. But a leadoff bunt. A wild pitch, and now he will go to second base. Now he was thinking about third, and then decides to go home or go back to second.
There's one thing about most sports: speed kills, Trevor.
Absolutely.
Speed kills. And you see it the way the kid moves and his takes around the bases. Little bunt, beats it out. Next pitch, wild pitch. He's standing at second base, and here we are in a 3-2 game, putting some pressure again on the pitcher.
Pickoff attempt.
One-0 count to the batter. He takes the ball low for ball 2. I mean, these are situations in the games where players are, runners at second. They're looking to hit something the other way, ground ball, move the guy to third base with no outs. I mean, that's what the batter should be doing. Playing small ball. And he
Sorensen
singles the center.
Goes right into the gap, or drops it down in center field. Moves the runner to third. So a single for Sorensen. Now that'll bring Crew Thorne to the plate. 0 for 1 so far. You ever gotten into broadcasting, Jeff?
I have not.
You should try it sometime.
I'm trying it right now, Trevor.
Well, you should do it more often.
Robinson just trying to regain his pitching. He hasn't pitched a terrible game and take control. That was a nice off-speed pitch there. He's looking to maybe trade a run for an out. The infield's back here in this situation, and try to hold Corner Canyon at bay. Maybe try to turn a pair here, get a little ground ball, trade the run for 2 outs.
Another question that actually just came into my head, Jeff, in all the years that you've been doing this, and I guess it could be a 2-part question. The most entertaining game at like the championship level, whether it's a quarterfinal, semifinal, or whatever, but where it's at a centralized venue that you have witnessed since you've been a part of the UHSAA.
Oh my gosh. That's like asking me. I don't know. I have no idea. I've seen so many phenomenal athletic moments from high school kids. It's unbelievable. Man alive. I don't know. The game the other day was a great baseball game, the 1-0 game, but I really, in a championship format, you get to see those games come down to the last basket and a team wins it on the thing. Here we go. That's what I was saying. Can they turn it in time? And they couldn't.
So a run will score.
Robinson did exactly what he was trying to do, was get a ground ball to second baseman, and they weren't able to flip the turn to first to trade the run for an out.
And we're all tied up.
I don't know, Trevor. That's a tough question for me.
Good. I like to ask tough questions.
So 12 years, I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you have.
I will tell you one of the most incredible things that I see is drill. Drill is an awesome sport.
Yeah, it really is.
And I think it's.
And there's obviously a following. It's one of our most viewed sports.
Yep. So.
That'll end the inning. We'll come back, and I'll ask Jeff an easier question, but it'll still be kind of hard.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know after this. Leading off for Skyridge here in the bottom of the 3rd inning is Rip Roberts.
What a perfect name, Ripken, though.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a baseball name?
I bet it is. It's funny, like, as I've been calling games, I've looked at rosters and just seeing how many baseball names there are out there. But we had one today that I know it's a Jazz name. There was a kid who was pitching in our last game named Corver Curtis.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's definitely after Kyle Korver.
Yeah, and Ripken's named after the shortstop.
Yep.
From the Baltimore Orioles, who holds the most games played, Mr. Dependable.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So the easy question for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
The most entertaining game that you have umpired at any level?
Well, I will start. I've done some national championships in junior college. I've done some conference tournaments in Division I baseball. Done several state championships in high school. I would say, watching a team have, in the old format, having to win 6 or 7 games and come back and win the championship, having to beat the team twice on the last day. One that comes to mind was Snow Canyon. They were winning those, but I think being at Grand Junction, Colorado for the JUCO World Series, there's 11,000 people there.
Absolutely.
Is always an enjoyment. I worked the national championship in 2017, the final game, and it's an incredible feeling. That's probably the most enjoyable game, and
Roberts caught stealing.
I love it. My favorite part about players is they never think they're out, and coaches never think they're
just like in basketball.
And
no one ever commits a foul. No one ever in football, no one, touches the wide receiver on the play, and
Yeah, and it's really close. And
Coach Roberts is talking to the third base umpire.
third base umpire Jacob Dunn, sorry. I always love to have those discussions as a coach and a player, and it's sometimes you're just listening to let the coach vent about what they think was wrong or right. And this is a really close game. There's been some tough calls in this game so far, and
do you know how many coaches you've thrown out of games?
No, I don't keep track. I would rather not throw anybody out.
Oh yeah, but sometimes you have to.
Yes, sometimes it requires that because either I was bad or they were bad.
Yep.
And they were not tired of being there. And I think one of the things about umpiring, you have to recognize that your strengths and your weaknesses are, and your growth pattern as you move through it. And I think it's hard. The only way you get better is work more games. But I do love, one of my favorite things that I do right now is I umpire Little League football, Ute Conference football on Saturdays with my boys, and myself and Trent Allred, who's like one of my brothers. The four of us are the crew, and we have a blast on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah?
It's one of the best things. Or getting to umpire a Little League game with my kids. I've tried to get them into officiating, and so we do a little bit of that. That's the best part of the game. I just like being part of it.
This is your opportunity if you want to, if you guys are in need of officials, to, encourage people to get into officiating, or if you feel like you've got enough officials and too many.
Well, we do not. Thanks, Trevor. We're always looking for more people who are interested and want to stay active and part of the game, and it's so much fun. It takes a lot of work, but the pay's not terrible, and the schools have been really kind to us and really supported us in what we're doing, and we're constantly trying to get more officials, and we do have a promotion. Registration for the 26-27 season starts June 15th. If you register early, or if you're a brand new official and it's your first time, if you follow the right channels, you have the opportunity to get free registration, which will save you, $60 or $80.
Wow.
And so that's something we've been doing for now. This is our third year we just completed, so it'll be our fourth year. So
where can people go for more info?
You just go to uhsaa.org, click on the officials tab, and that registration window will open on June 15th. And when you do that, we're looking for them in all sports. Lacrosse is a needed place. Girls lacrosse, boys lacrosse, softball, baseball. Not to say that we don't have enough in the other sports, but because we don't. But we're staying just above the Mendoza line, if you know that baseball reference.
Okay.
That's the baseball reference for the Mendoza line means that you're hitting over 200.
Okay.
And so we're staying just above that to keep all of our sports supplied with officials and not having to take too much of a taxation on our schools. So
are you starting to see any kind of trend? Are you losing officials because of how people are acting at games? What's kind of the trend right now? Are you getting more that are coming in, or are you getting more leaving, or is it kind of like a mixture? How's that work?
Yeah. So yes, many of you may have seen the Deseret News article that we did on sportsmanship. Carson Hilton interviewed me and followed some of our softball officials for a few months, and we talked about sportsmanship and listened, and that's probably the number one cause for people leaving officiating, especially in their first 3 years, has to do with sportsmanship, and that's always a reminder that sportsmanship's paramount. Remember, I know we place a lot of an emphasis on winning and losing,
Yep.
Especially in our playoffs, but during the regular season, it's the only place our kids, our umpires and officials are getting the opportunity to become better, especially in our sub-varsity sports. And so Carson did a great article that, really gave the sentiment of where we are as an association and what he was able to witness and talk about. So
Brady will send that to right field for the out, though. Great catch there.
by number 15.
Zayden Bai.
Yeah, Zayden Bach. Great play out there, Zayden. Those are tough plays when you're coming in to decide, do I catch it diving forward? Do I catch it sliding? Is it going to stay above my waist? Those are really hard plays. That was a nice play by the right fielder.
Now at the plate, Tanner McKay, number 27, hitting in the 8 hole, so near the bottom of the order.
I think one of the things that we feel really great about is the way that our schools and our coaches treat our umpires. They're really great to them, and they look like they're having arguments, but they are very tolerable for what's going on. But hey, Trevor, thanks for having me on. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, hey, thank you again. I know you're really busy. You didn't have to do this, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. You're always welcome in the booth anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, there you go. That is Jeff Clough with the UHSAA. Appreciate him, and we'll go ahead and take a break and be back with more here from Miller Field at BYU. Brady Butters will lead off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big thank you to Jeff Clough for joining me here for a couple of innings. Hope you guys enjoyed that while getting some baseball. Just to kind of get a little behind the scenes of how things work at the UHSAA. And again, couldn't be more grateful for the partnership that we have at KSL Sports to be the streaming home of the UHSAA. They're great people to work with, and they truly do a lot of great things for our student athletes and our schools here in the state of Utah. And Butters, strike 2. So 1-2 the count. As I'm flying solo, I apologize for not keeping up on the pitch count. I'll do what I can. I don't have Taylor here for this game or later on tonight, but I'll have him again tomorrow. 2-2 now. Not happy with that call, but he'll step back into the box. He reached on an error his last at bat. Sends that one into left field, but the catch is made for the first out. Levi Hines with the catch. Now Bull Larson will come to the plate. Check swing, they'll call strike. That one in right field for out number 2.
At plate number 11, Brady Lowe.
Brady Lowe reached on fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning. Ball 1. And Sorensen couldn't get the catch in. A somersault happens out in left field, but it'll be a single for Brady Lowe. So a 2-out single for the first baseman. Grayson Bauer, the left fielder, he reached base on balls in his last at bat. Sent into foul territory.
That's Wendy's foul ball. Retrieve foul ball. Bring back to the box for a frosty.
One's inside. Ball 3. So a hitter's count here. Paulson with the pitch. Swing and a miss, and we go full. Here for Bauer. And he'll walk him.
Coming to the plate, number 3, Miles Robinson.
So that'll move Lowe over to second. And Bauer on first with 2 outs. And Miles Robinson, he's got a single with 2 RBIs, plus he's got a solo shot home run. And again, just playing great ball. Yesterday, drove in 2 runs to give Skyridge the lead and eventually the win over Mountain Ridge in bracket play. We'll see if we have a pitching change here. Want to remind you, our coverage brought to you by Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 2.75% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchases. Tab responsibly. Visit tabbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC. So Robinson will start his at-bat. His 3rd time at the plate. 2 for 2. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. That one goes down into the turf. Ball 2. Well, it's a wild pitch, so runners will advance. Lowe will go to third. Bauer will go to second. Still 2 outs. And now they're going to intentionally walk him. Just had to throw another ball, but
Coming to the plate, number 2, Luke Robley.
Luke Robley will come to the plate with a chance to give Skyridge the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ball 1. Grounded to short, over to first. Almost hit the first base coach. And that will send 2 runs home, 3 runs home. So I'm wondering if they'll score that as an error. But either way, 3 runs have scored. So Robertson, Bauer, and Lowe are all home.
At plate, number 4, Ricky Roberts.
And I believe they're going to give that an error because of the throw over to first base. Check swing. So it's now 6-0 in favor of the Falcons. Lifted into foul territory. That's going to go near the bullpen, where Corner Canyon has arms warming up. I'll go home, and he's safe. So Robley is home. And it's starting to get a little bit out of hand for the Chargers. Still 2 outs. And it's 7-3 Skyridge. That one's in foul territory. It was actually right in fair territory, but the first baseman will make the catch, and the inning is over. But not without giving up 4 runs and the lead. And we'll go ahead and take a break, come back with the top of the 5th here on KSLSports.com. Leading off for Corner Canyon will be number 7, Bowen Bodley, so the bottom of the order. And then we'll see Jack Munson and Lincoln Ure. So 9-1-2 hitters in the order. And it looks like we've got some John back and forth between coaches. And Coach Roberts is getting after his dugout. Got a little intense there for a moment. The third base coach for Corner Canyon exchanging words. Not sure with who in the dugout. I don't know if it's players or coaches on the Skyridge side. And so now the umpires will get together. Bodley had a 2 RBI double. And now the 2 umpires are coming to chat with Coach Roberts of Skyridge. I was honestly looking down for a moment at my book. So I didn't see what happened. And I'm guessing someone has either been thrown out or has to stay in the dugout. So Bowen Bodley with the 2-0 count. Now strike 1. Make it 3-1 now. Roberts against Bodley. And he calls time.
Now plate number 4, Jack Munson.
So he's aboard on the walk. Now we're back to the top of the order with Jack Munson, who's 1 for 2 and goes into foul territory behind home plate. These two teams being region foes definitely makes it more intense. Corner Canyon won the season series 2-1 over Skyridge. 13-3 win in game 1, 6-4 win in game 2. Skyridge picked up a win 3-2 in game 3 of that series. And that was back in April 14th, 15th, and 17th. Goes right to the pitcher. He loses his mitt, but still get over to first for the out. Great play there.
Coming to the plate number 1, Lincoln York.
Lincoln Yor will come to the plate. 1 for 2. A single and a strikeout. Chopped foul. One, two, the count. Here for Yor. With one out. One on. He's on second now. Over to second, to first, and that'll be out number 2, but the runner will advance to third.
At plate number 37, Zach Sorensen.
Zach Sorensen, who pitched a gem yesterday. Won't be able to see him unless they make it to the championship series. a strike. So 2-2 the count. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. He'll head over to first. And that will complete the out and the strikeout and end the inning.
And the Chargers score. No runs on no hits, no errors, or stranded left.
We'll now go to the bottom of the 5th with Skyridge coming to the plate next here on KSLSports.com. Boston Sunberg will lead off the inning for the Lone Peak Knights here in the bottom of the 5th. And we do have a pitching change. Paulson's day is done. And I believe he said number 2. Nathan Hortzman is the pitcher. Grounder to short, over to first, out number 1.
Now to play number 15, Zayden By.
Zayden Bai will come to the plate next. Here's the 1-0. Ball 2. And a strike on that one. So evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Hortzman will come in and get a K.
Number 20, Brady Butters.
So 2 outs now. Brady Butters will come to the plate. Fouled off. Now it's going to the parking lot. The back parking lot. Nearly got hit on that one. Goes inside, ball 4. So base on balls for Butters.
At the plate, number 14.
2 outs, 1 on. Bo Larson will come to the plate. 1 for 2. And a speed up runner for Butters.
Running for the
Or a
Falcons,
pinch hitter.
23, James Peck.
James Peck will come on to pinch run. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll end the inning.
And the Falcons score no
So
runs,
2
no hits,
Ks
no earned
for
one.
Hortzman.
5 innings. It's the Falcons'
And we'll now go to the top of the 6th here on KSLSports.com.
Leading off for the Chargers, number 11.
Leading off for Corner Canyon is Crew Thorne, the designated hitter. So 4, 5, 6 hitters, the middle of the order. Roberts is sitting at 79 pitches. I think he said 71. He's in the 70s. Coach Roberts rolling with him. As of right now, he would have 2 days rest if he were to be pulled. But as soon as he gets to 86 pitches, that's where he'll need 3 days rest. 1-1 the count. Into foul territory, into the bullpen. Skyridge's bullpen. The 2-2. Now we'll go full. And a walk.
Coming to the plate for 14, Levi Hines. Running for the Chargers, number 13, Pollard.
Sent deep into center field, and that'll be a base hit and extra bases. Heading to third. And he's there. That's a triple for Levi Hines, an RBI triple. And Thorne scored. Great play there. 7-4 now.
At the plate, number 21, Garrett Downey.
Lifted high into shallow left center, and no one grabs it, so it'll drop for a base hit. So an RBI single for Garrett Downing. So that scores Hines.
Now play number 10, Joby Brady.
Joby Brady is up next. Now we'll have a mound meeting. And that'll hit the batter, so hit by pitch right after the mound meeting. So now that'll send Downing to second, and Brady will go to first base on the hit by pitch. And now we'll get a speed up runner.
Running for the Chargers, number 3, Munir.
And Truman Munier will be the speed runner. And a bunt for the first for out number 1. But each runner will advance.
Coming to play number 7, Bowen Buckley.
Here's the pitch. Strike 1. A foul ball. So the winner of this game will take on Mountain Ridge. That game will take place. The loser of this game will take on Mountain Ridge at 11 a.m. The winner will play at 4:30 for the winner of that game tomorrow morning. No one's upstairs for a ball. 1-2 the count. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Two now. Is Bodley. I believe it's 7-5. Fouled off. It's hard to see because there's a glare on the scoreboard across from me. Looks like it. Fouled off once again. So 7-5 is the score in favor of Skyridge, although Corner Canyon threatening right now. And that'll go down for the out, and then the sacrifice fly. Now bring him within one as Downing scores. So now a runner at second. And a one-run lead for the Falcons. We go back to the top of the order. That one's crushed to left center, but the catch is made for the out, and that'll end the inning. With 3 runs scored for the Corner Canyon Chargers, we'll now go to the bottom of the 6th. Skyridge up to the plate next here on KSLSports.com. Brady Lowe will lead off for Skyridge. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Skyridge holding on to a 1-run lead over Corner Canyon. That one's fouled off. So pitchers count. Here's the 1-2 from Hortzman. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts since he came in relief. Grayson Bauer come to the plate. Reached base on ball twice in both of his at-bats. Tries to bunt. Doesn't work there. Strike. Strike 2. Hortzman is just coming in and been throwing strikes. Big part of how Corner Canyon's been coming back into this, at least defensively. Yeah, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Hortzman. And Bauer is down on strikes. Now we go back to the top of the order. Miles Robinson. He has been an absolute threat for Skyridge started the bottom of the first inning with a solo home run. And then in the second inning, he had a 2 RBI single, and then he was intentionally walked to make the bases loaded back in the fourth inning. So 2 outs, no one on. Swing and a miss. You could tell he was really trying to crush that ball. He wants another home run. And that home run went out in center field, probably about 420. Strike 2. That one and lifted into foul territory.
That's a Wendy's foul ball. Return the foul ball to the announce booth for a free frosty.
Still 0-2. Here's Hortzman with the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Foul once again. I believe that's the 5th pitch of the at-bat. Here's the 1-2. Deuce is wild. He'll stay alive at the at-bat. He fouls that one off as well. This has been a long at-bat. Now the Sky both dugouts getting rowdy, as is the crowd. Now goes into the dirt, well, into the turf for ball 3. Foul once again. I think we're in double digits now for this at-bat. The payoff. Sends that one into right field. That'll be a base hit, and he's heading over to second. And Miles Robinson will stop for a double. That was a long at bat, but it paid off.
Coming to the plate, number 2, Luke Robley.
Luke Robley will try to send him home. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Two out, double. Now the pitching coach will come out for Corner Canyon. Actually, I think that is the head coach. Yep, taking the ball from him. So Hortzman is done. And we'll get the pitching change and let you know who it is coming up after this here on KSLSports.com. Peyton Wayment will be the pitcher for the Chargers. Get you some numbers on Peyton. He's a freshman. He has 5 appearances, 0-1 record, 9.88 ERA. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 10 runs, 8 earned, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, 1 triple allowed, and 29 batters faced for Wayment. Put him in a big spot here. The freshman pitching in a winner's bracket game here in the 6A baseball tournament. He's got 2 outs. And Luke Robley at the plate. And he reached on error, but also had 3 runs come in because of that error. And ball 2. Deep to left field. And the catch is made, and that'll end the inning. Came on, did his job.
And the Falcons score, no runs on no hits, no errors, and strand.
So we go to the top of the 7th, Corner Canyon with their final 3 outs to try and get at least 1 run to force a bottom of the 7th or 2 to take the lead here on KSLSports.com. Gleason Yor will lead off the inning, so we go to the heart of the order here for the Chargers to try and get back into this one. A swing and a miss. Roberts now at 100 pitches. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to short. Over to first. And that's out number 1, 2 outs away.
Now the plate, number 37, Zach Sorensen.
That'll be a base hit for Zach Sorensen. A 1-pitch single with 1 out. So the tying run
At the plate, number 11, Crew Thorne.
is at first base.
Running for the Chargers, number 6, McKay.
Crew Thorne will come to the plate. And Corbin McKay will be the speed runner for Sorensen. Or the pinch runner, excuse me. Fouled off. Ball one. Ball two. 2-1 the count. Here for Thorne. 1 on, 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th. Sent high. Center field. And 1 out away now are the Falcons.
Now playing number 14, Levi Hines.
Levi Hines. He has an RBI triple. Fouls that one off. Upstairs, ball one. And these two teams played in region. The 3-game series. Corner Canyon won the series 2-1. But they both got here to the winner's bracket with wins over Lone Peak and Mountain Ridge yesterday. Corner Canyon knocked off Lone Peak. Skyridge knocked off Mountain Ridge. The 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. And strike two. Down to their final strike. Skyridge faithful on their feet. And that'll be a base hit. Hines, he'll get a single. So now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Garrett Downing will come to the plate, but we'll see. I don't think Roberts was at the pitch count.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the game, both these teams will play again tomorrow. Tomorrow there are 2 or 3 high school graduations that will be held at the Marriott Center. So as you come to the stadium tomorrow, please be patient with parking. It will be at maybe a little more difficult. So you may want to come early to secure your parking as you come to the games and enjoy some baseball tomorrow. Just a heads up, again, graduations will be happening at the Marriott Center all day tomorrow, so parking will be tough to get. So make sure you come, be patient, so when you come to the ballpark, you're ready to cheer. Thank you.
Coach Roberts is going to change pitchers. So we'll go ahead and step aside, let you know who that is next. Luke Robley's going to pitch. He'll move over from shortstop. Pretty much him and Rip Roberts will just switch positions. As Robley tries to get the final out here. Garrett Downing will try and tie this one up. Potentially take the lead. And that's an outside ball. Here's the pitch. Ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Right over to Roberts, and that'll end it. Skyridge will move on to the next round of bracket play and stay in the winner's bracket. Corner Canyon will drop down to the one-loss bracket, and they will take on Mountain Ridge. And they will play the winner of that, and Skyridge will play the winner of that game tomorrow at 4:30. Our Tab Bank player of the game has to go to Miles Robinson. He went 3 for 3, also was intentionally walked, but he had a solo home run, a single, a double, and 2 RBI. So congratulations, our Tab Bank player of the game, Miles Robinson of Skyridge. We'll go ahead and take a break, stop the stream, and we'll be back in about a half an hour for the start of our final game of the day, which will be the Lehigh Pioneers taking on the American Fork Cavemen. All right here on KSLSports.com.